Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Las Palmas 1, Real Madrid 2. Real Madrid find a way yet again to come back from behind to win. To win in a way that it's not comfortable, it's not by a big margin, but it's by a way that you can get by with the 3 points while making sure that most of our players are not getting injured. Players are getting enough game time. Obviously players coming on, making the impact, making a difference. Player coming off as well, getting the right amount of minutes probably for some players. For some, maybe they deserve more minutes, and maybe they deserve rest as well. But we'll get to more of that, you know, later on. But Real Madrid get the win again. It's not easy going away to these stadiums that we barely play at, because if you go to Camp Nou or you go to the Wanda Metropolitano, you play there pretty much all the time, and those are bigger. Those are much more iconic stadiums in a way. And teams like Cadiz and Las Palmas, they are going to make the atmosphere awkward and tough to play at. And you can see that although the style of football wasn't, like Cadiz, it was at the end of the day not an easy place to go to. And it's just really, 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 glad to see that Real Madrid can get through these period of games, because next up we've got Getafe away. At what is the stadium even called? The Coliseum, right? That sounds like a museum. It's going to be a tough stadium to go to as well. But these are the games that determine whether you are deserving of being La Liga champions. And today we showed it. We showed that we can go to these tough places and stadiums to get the job done. We can. And yeah, another win. And again, it's not like Real Madrid dominated from the start to the end. I watched the whole game, and Real Madrid were patient and let Las Palmas do what they want. Really, for the first half, it was really like, okay, Las Palmas, let's see what you are capable of. We're not going to go out attack. We're not going to press. We're not going to get the ball. We're not going to run too much. We are just going to be patient. And there is pros and cons to that. The pro really tire your opponent out and then hit them when you know that you have got that ability to. And it's not one time, it's not two times, it seems like a lot of the times when Real Madrid are losing, they find a way to get the equalizing goal and then to get the winning goal. But the cons, I think it's just that we can't always have this poor start, because eventually when you play the top teams like an Atletico Madrid, like Barcelona, like Girona, in the Champions League of Leipzig, these games are going to be tough. And these games you cannot afford to say, you know what, do whatever you want for the first 45 minutes. We will sit back and watch you do. Because we're going to get smacked. We're going to concede 3 to 4 goals in 45 minutes. So, you have to start off strong. But Ancelotti knows that there are games that the team cannot start off well. There are going to be games where the team is tired and will not be able to run at full speed from minute 1 to minute 90. So he has to prioritize it. That okay, we might have to compromise here, and you know what? First 45 minutes, we basically give away, and then we hit back after for the next 45, and we try to work something out. And it's just the fighting spirit, the winning mentality that gets us over the line most of the time. But I'm happy. I'm happy with the way we got the job done. And like I said, as much as I'm happy with the win. You cannot have that same approach to every single game. You know what? Let the opponent do what they want for 45 minutes and then we'll hit back, because it doesn't work all the time. It's not how it works. First goal, Las Palmas scored. Javier Munoz. I have no idea how they scored really, because I actually wasn't paying much attention. All I know was Sandro down the right hand side cuts the ball into the box, and Javier Munoz was there, took a deflection of Nacho, who started. We'll get more to the individuals later on. And it's a good finish, it's a good goal. 1-0 Las Palmas. But within 10 minutes or less, it already seems like Real Madrid were gonna push straight away. And that was when the engine switched on. And I can't believe how fast Las Palmas went into defensive mode. I mean, you look at them scoring, and then out of a sudden, I didn't see Las Palmas attack until the last 10 minutes. They went full defensive, and again, it shows the vulnerability that they have. That after going 1-0 up, they are going to sit back and defend. They're not going to push for number 2. They're not going to push for the second goal. They're going to defend. And that played well into our hands, because 12 minutes later, Vinicius Jr., it's a great piece of finish. Good ball from Camavinga with the assist. And on his left foot, control and volleys it past Vélez, who I thought was Las Palmas' best player, really. And then Tchouaméni comes on, and we get a corner. Cruz whips it in, unmarked really, and Tchouaméni scores with a free header. And it's 2-1, and that was the winning goal. Of course, the game was intense. Many yellow cards being given. 3 yellow cards for Las Palmas. 3 for Real Madrid as well. So it was an intensive game. And of course, there was a couple of offside goals. Carvajal with the offside goal. And then obviously Vinicius Jr. with his first goal, which was offside. Before obviously he scored his goal. Was he offside? Did he score? Or am I just mixing that? Because I remember him being offside, but I can't remember if he scored. I mean, my head's fully gone really. I mean, I do remember Vinicius being offside. But let me have a look. Nah, I don't think he scored any offside goals. I know Carvajal scored an offside goal, but my head's fully gone. But let's talk about Las Palmas for a little bit. Give them the credit, because they played really well. They kept the structure, they kept the shape well, like Almeria did last week. And again, they lost by a goal. And they're doing really well this season. They are currently 8th, I want to say, with Real Betis able to go above them. And if Getafe win their remaining 2 games, which they have in hand on Las Palmas, they could overtake them. But one of their games is after all Real Madrid, and they've got Granada as the other game, which I see them winning at home. So they will close the gap down, but whether they beat Real Madrid, we'll talk about it in the next preview. But they might push for Europe, which would be a big achievement for Las Palmas. But I genuinely think they will finish maybe 8th or 9th. But they played well. I was looking at Marvin Park, obviously ex-Real Madrid. Is he out on loan? I think he might be out on loan from Real Madrid at the moment. Of course, I remember those days. Lucas Vazquez and Marvin Park being transformed from wingers to wingbacks under Zidane. Remember those days as well? Marvin Park. Munier had a decent game. Javier Munoz and Sandro obviously scoring and assisting. I thought Sorry Kabar looked alright when he came on, added a bit of physicality as well. They've got Singraven on the bench. Not sure why he didn't start or come on. But this team is, with the group of players they have, a good team. But I'm not sure they'll get 7th or even higher than that. I mean, it's very competitive. Real Sociedad are still in the mix. Real Betis, Athletic Club Bilbao. These teams will be up there really, and also Valencia. So you've got many teams battling it out for, maybe 6th to 8th. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tight in there. But for Real Madrid, I thought Lunin did play pretty well. The goal, it's hard to say it's his fault, but he could have gotten down faster. Definitely took a deflection as well. Fran Garcia definitely contender for man of the match. He's not my man of the match. I know a lot of people say he is their man of the match, which I totally get. The difference with him and Mendy is against a low block, against a team that play 5 at the back, you need that kind of player down your wing to bomb down forward, and that's what he brought. Carvajal had a good game as well. Rudiger, once again, playing well. Nacho, look, made 2 poor mistakes against Almeria. Started this game, played alright. That goal, we're not going to blame him because deflections are, it's not as if he didn't get a touch onto that, it wouldn't have gone in. It would have gone in either ways. He tried to block it, which didn't at all. But he redeemed himself, I would say. Had a pretty solid game. The midfield, Camavinga, definitely contender for man of the match. I thought created that first goal. Ran the midfield. Arguably the best midfielder on the pitch. Toni Kroos, look, at his age, doing what he's doing every game or so for 90 minutes, you have to give him credit for. I hate to say this, but Ceballos, just not good enough. I just don't think he's a Real Madrid level quality player. Yes, he runs. Yes, he sweats. Yes, he fights for the team. But half the time, he's running around not knowing what to do. And when we are in a good position in the first half, he gets the ball near the opposition box, and then he turns back, and then he passes back to Carvajal or Rudiger or Camavinga. He's not looking for the forward pass, he's looking backwards. And that's realistically not what we need. And when he came off, that kind of helped because Fede Valverde adds something different. He adds that attacking quality. He adds that I want to bomb forward. I have the pace, but I want to bomb forward. The front three, Brahim Diaz was quiet today, but realistically the only player we could have started. Came off, of course, for Joselu, and we'll talk more about him later. And in the front two, Rodrigo, much more involved as compared to Almeria, but again, quiet. And Vinicius Jr., my man of the match. I think scored the goal and played really well, and that's what we need from Vinicius Jr. We don't want that Vinicius Jr. who is always whining and complaining. Yes, if the matter is taken seriously, and if it is any sort of racism, abuse, or anything serious, you have to, obviously stop the game because of what it is. But I'm talking minor fouls, minor contacts. He has to just get up and move on and heads up. He can't just be whining all the time. And he proved that when he's at his best, and that wasn't even at his best, but when he's playing well, even maybe not 100%, maybe 75%, he can be that guy. And that goal was well taken, and that's what we need from Vinicius, because when there's no Jude Bellingham, it has to be Vinicius Jr. who steps up, and he did. So my man of the match, definitely. Joselu came on, look, had a good header that went over the bar, but not clinical. But again, he offers the physicality and lets the opponent be scared of him in a sense. Like I said, Fede Valverde came on, changed the game. Uh, Tramini came on for Camavinga, scored the winning goal. You can't expect much more. Arda Güler came on for Rodrigo for the last 10 minutes. Didn't really see much of him. You need to see more. But it's good to see him on. And Fernand Mendy coming on for Vinicius Junior. And that, I think, is Ancelotti saying, look, I trust Mendy more defensively. And he has said before that Mendy is the best defensive left back in the world. Fran Garcia is clear in terms of going forward, but defensively, Mendy is still preferred, and we can get that because defensively, Mendy is just better. And Fran Garcia has to find a way to work on his defensive side of the game because we have seen left backs and right backs before that can do both. I mean, Carvajal, he defends, but he also bombs forward and scores or assists. It's not impossible to do so. It takes a lot of you physically, of course it does, but you can do it if you work on your game. But definitely achievable for Fran Garcia. But Real Madrid get the win. Next up, we've got Getafe away. It's a good win here, but we have to keep moving on. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's review. Hit the like button if you did, subscribe to James on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.